thing about existence, right? A lot of people like to take for granted. It'd be the simple understanding, right? It'd be the fact that you're here. That's it. Like, not for nothing, I don't think people be realizing, like, you were created and shit, and you're here, right? You're created and you're here. I mean, that stardust or whatever could have been used for anything else, right? Anything under the sun. I thought I had a piece of. Oh, I thought I had a piece of. That stardust that was used to create your life could have been used for anything, right? But it was used to give you an existence. And whether or not that's a serious thing that people take in consideration, it's a real thing. So, oh, this shit is clogged up. I should have got my whatchamacall. I need a pipe cleaner. But I might not be able to use this. But yeah, so you as a creation, right? You being made as a creation, right? You're existing, breathing, and all that. I don't think divine put you here to, you know, have the wrong understanding to whatever that is as a reality. I don't think divine put you here to come up with your own understanding of your existence. I don't think divine did that. I don't think divine said, yo, I'm going to put you here just for you to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think divine was like, you know, you have everything you need to, you know, to conquer what's going to happen mentally, physically, and spiritually. And I will leave you to your own vices, but in the same breath, I want you to experience what this is, being in this particular form, and comprehend that the energies that this form has to deal with, it's not everything. It's just like, it's like saying, once we had buggies and now we got Cadillacs, you know what I'm saying? And the buggies don't exist no more, but the same bodies are still driving the situation. So different life circumstances, they follow the same pretense, just not in full totality. So a lot of things that we understand as far as the allowance of life, right? Like what allows things to be, right? And whatever that means in certain circumstances. Those things are not as large as we tend to make them. Like life itself is not as large as we can tend to make it, right? And for the most part, those are like mental fixtures. Like you got a light fixture, this is a mental fixture, right? So you have this element of reality, right? This element of reality that exists, and this element of reality that exists. Hold on. This element of reality that exists, right? And shit has a clog in it or something. That's the element of that reality that exists that we all have to contend with. But for the most part, the circumstances that we come up with, right? As far as how we perceive the things that take place, is like somewhere in our reality, the strength that was supposed to be given to us from the start that allows us to, you know, have an understanding on why certain things happen in this lifetime that we're living in. Those things got tampered with and they got destroyed. So this is why we have the circumstances of history and other people explaining what a scholar is, right? This is why you have that today. You don't need those things, and never were, or never was. That was a real reality for the rest of the world. Other tribes, they still use their elders as their libraries. You know what I'm saying? Like, without the elders who has lived for the longest and through circumstantial situation gained the knowledge needed, gain the knowledge needed. That's crazy. This shit ain't gonna work because it's clogged up. Gain the knowledge needed, you know, to the knowledge needed so that they can teach the youth on what's to come. Fortuitive to the notion of repetitive notions. This is how they were able to use a mathematical resonance to see things past the normal day scale, meaning they were able to add up the normal circumstances after a period of time, knowing that they didn't change too far from the point to where the origin was. They was able to see circumstances play out in many different ways. So the circumstances would end up playing out in particular understandings. The circumstances would play out in different understandings based off how the elders saw the change via the season, the wind. You know, the wind, you can feel, it's like if you, and some people didn't understand what they meant by when they said you can feel it in the wind. Well, if you're a part of the natural scene of things, right? You're a part of the natural understanding of things. There's not too much going on. You don't have street lights and cars and you know, social media and all these other things going on, colors and music. You don't have all that. You have some forms, but it's not readily available like we have it today. So back then, they were so in tune with nature. If the wind changed a little bit, it was because something was standing in front of it. And you could feel that shit from distances away, like all the way across the ocean, all the way across, you know what I'm saying? Like if that wind was traveling towards you and you knew that wind was following a trail or was following, you know, a path, and it was people walking on that path, you were so in tune with nature to where you can feel or you can smell or you can tell the different cuts in the wind to who was coming towards you from a distance. This how sharp it was. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have that type of particular understanding today when it comes to natural anything. So now you had to have somebody fill in those spaces. And not for nothing, how can you fill in the spaces of the person who knows unless you destroy everything that would give you a knowing? So that's why we're where we at right now as far as society thinking that they know every damn thing. Thinking that they're scientists and they understand these shits. If you got to classify yourself as the power of authority, but then your track record doesn't speak to that knowledge, it just speaks to narcissism. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for the most part, like, yeah, all right, I get it. You've documented everything you studied. That's cool. You're supposed to write down and journal everything you learn. Does that make that the epitome of the understanding that we have for the classes that we deal with? No way, shape, and form. I don't give a damn what building you in, who gave you an award, how many colleges you went to. That doesn't explain anything. You know what I'm saying? Like that, they will never supersede the knowledge that was instilled into the DNA through experience over eons. It'll never supersede that. That's why a lot of the original people have innate abilities just to understand certain capabilities or certain situations. Like some people naturally just know shit, and that's because you, through your past lives or your ancestors, had that knowing already. And once a knowing is mastered, it is instilled into the fabric of your existence. You know what I'm saying? That's why that's what people don't want to tell you, because if they tell you that, then certain things that you feel good like you know, you'll start standing on that like you know it, instead of trying to reach out to get confirmation on what you know. And they need you to do that in order to keep some form of control or hierarchy over the understanding of certain levels of people. It's all about not letting you walk off. And where would you walk off to? If people got up today knowing that if you knew your blood all the way, you knew your originality, right? And you said, I want to see something new. And you went to go across, like the Dogon said, they walked here. Yeah, they came here. People keep talking about planets. I told you ain't no planets out there. It gets real cold. It's like a plasma, and it's so cold. It has to be. It's not water per se. It's a form of plasma that allows the sun not to burn everything up, but it lets the energy conduct and travel. So that's why it's colder when you go up. So to go outside the dome, the so-called dome that we're in, would allow you to transmute through that vibrational aspect that's holding us here. A lot of people don't understand that. It's basically not even about the placement of if you can or if you will. If you know that you're original and you decide to leave, you can leave. Having a lot of people follow you might be dangerous, because other creations just can't leave out of here. They just can't walk out of here. That's why they keep showing you, spaceships and shit like that flying and talking about they go out, because they want you to believe that they can do other than what you can do. So it's about belief. It's about controlling your mind. If one day you said, man, fuck this shit, I'm done with all this shit, I don't care about nothing, I'm getting a boat, I'm traveling to the ice wall, I'm going past it. The best they can do is tell you no, but they can't stop you. And if you get to the wall and you go past it, you would be able to pass through it if your DNA and your energy is pure. If your DNA, if you still are aligned with your creations, right? Like what created you, the original aspect. Something could have added some things in there through your existence, and you might be slightly engineered a little bit, which may cause some distortion on your way out. You know what I'm saying? So be mindful of that if that's what you try to do. But for the most part, that's what they don't want. They don't want everybody in the world to leave. Everybody that's in any country, they don't want nobody just to get up and leave. They say they want to control it, but keep in mind, without the people of the world, you can't control nothing. Like, it don't matter how much riches these people got. If every person just left, it'll be just the rich people here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who gonna cook their food for them? Who gonna build their stuff for them? Who they gonna sell their stuff to? It ain't gonna be nobody here. If it's literally 100 people left in this area that we call planet Earth, it's an area. It's not a circle. It's the area that's domed off. If it's 100 people left here, let's see how they survive. Have to learn to do everything they self. And the distance is so far. That'll be something to see, yo. That'll be something to see, to watch. Survive now. But it won't be that. It'll be more like, I want to go with them. I want to see the experiences they're going to get a chance to experience. And that's not going to happen because they were banished, the fallen. You know what I'm saying? And anything that's created by the fallen has to stay with the fallen. So the stories will reverse to make you feel like something was coming here, in here, good and bad, for you to view and witness both of those things take place. So either way, if your mind is focused on those good and bad things taking place, you would just stay here and be a witness to that. Like, we got to endure until this time come. Like, it's that type of energy. That's what the plan really was about. It's not about system. It's not about being the people who are safe and financially stable in a country. None of this shit really matters. It's all really about, will you stay to be a part of all these things that each country supplies? That's really what it's about. Or will you make up your mind to go outside of this? Do you have enough love in you? Do you love yourself enough? Do you have enough pure love inside of you? Not heinous love, not angry, nothing, not spiteful. Just you have this pure love inside of you, and you can go. Because that's the key to get through. If your love is pure and you're an original, then it's going to line up with your DNA. The information inside of you is going to speak for you when you get ready to go across that line. That's frequency. So it's literally higher going out there. You're going higher up going out there because the waters are raised. You know what I'm saying? So you would be going higher up, and that's a different. My dog going crazy right now. She sees something over there. Some type of animal. But it'll be higher up. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're higher up off the ground over there. And when the grounds are higher, right? The grounds are higher. Their grounds are getting hit by more of the solar energy, which the heat is a lot higher over there. The air is probably different. The frequencies is probably completely different because they're absorbing. It's like saying the ground we walk on right now is 200, 300, 400 feet in the air, 500 feet in the air, and we're that much closer to the energy that's coming from the sun, which would allow a lot of different things to take place. A higher level of everything, whether that's aging being a lot slower, whether that's the cognitive understanding of the mental realities, whether that's, you know what I'm saying, height, size, conductivity, what you call magic and frequency, transmutation of energy flowing through the body. All these things will be more relevant because you're on a higher stream, and your conductivity, you're literally a walking nuclear plant. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how well everything is clean inside of you, and if that's the reality, and you make it there, then you really turn on and you activate and you're purified. Especially if you're an original being, your whole system is purified. And then you get a chance to live there with this purity that you were able to harness coming out of the turmoil. So literally, we're in a lower place when we think with the mountains and everything we got high. No, we're not as high as we think we are up off the ground. We're actually pretty low. And it seems like when you look at it from that perspective, it seems like it was flattened out a lot, like contracted with large machines in a sense to make it seem like the lands are vast and its countries and stuff, when in fact it's really dropped down some. It's like dropped down. And if before it had a lot more earth on top, then that would insist that it was a lot more caves. This probably was underground at one point, but now it's not because of everything that was, excavated. And with that being said, we wouldn't have no clue if this was the lowest part or not. You know what I'm saying? Somebody can tell you that we got caves underground, but you're literally standing underground. You just don't realize it because sea level is so deep, right? So it's just things that speak to a different comprehension depending on where your mind is. And ultimately, I don't think that's a conversation that's really going to be had, but you are supposed to be experiencing life, and there should be no part of life that you can't access. And if that's the case, that you can't access a certain part of life, that's because it's not in your DNA for you to access that. That's like saying, I caught a fish, and then the fish was still alive while I was cooking it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then it was done, fried, crispy, and seasoned, and the fish was still on the plate. Like, hey, buddy, you can put me back in the ocean any given time. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't eat that fish. You'd be like, yo, something wrong with that fish. Yo, that shit's still alive after being deep fried. something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no transition to it. So, your energy has to be fluid. You have to be a fluid being. You know what I'm saying? A being that deals with fluidity. No matter what the element is, you still have to deal with fluidity in your own right. And if you are that type of being, then you can transcend this level. This level wasn't always a prison level. It was a risen level. And I believe what happened was the original people that was able to go in between this land and the outer lands got trapped here within the process of other things being placed here, right? Or placed below here, in a sense. So, yeah, that's just a particular understanding. So, I ain't gonna hold you. I just wanted to tap in real quick. You know what I'm saying? I was 21:12 just now on the clock when I said that. Y'all hold it down. You already know the vibes. NAGA the wise.